Good morning. Welcome to Monday Mindsets. If you're watching this on YouTube and you aren't part of our Healthy Real Food community yet, I just want to invite you to come and join us. The Healthy Real Food community is a place to get free help and support with your sugar and flour free lifestyle. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have contractors downstairs that are fixing my bathroom. We had a flood, and so you may hear some noises in the background. My daughter's homesick from school today, so anyway, you might hear some stuff in the background. But I'm really excited to talk with you today. I'm Erin Hart. I am a registered nurse, and I help people to find peace with their food. I help people to find freedom from cravings and to achieve extraordinary success with sustainable weight loss through one-to-one coaching. I also am starting group coaching in January, so be sure to check that out. It's going to be amazing. So each Monday I go live to help you with to help you to get into the right mindset for the week with Monday Mindset. Losing weight is such a mental game. So be sure to tune in each Monday at 10 a.m. where you can join me live and get some inspiration for the week, ask questions, and just get your week started off on the right foot. Uh, I I'm so passionate about this sugar and flour free lifestyle, and I want to help you. So today, the thought that I have for you is about the concept of time. So time is such an interesting concept. You can't touch it, you can't see it, you can't hear it or smell it, but it is there, and it is such a precious resource. You know, God gave us time on this earth to experience the gift of life, and sometimes it feels like it goes by way too fast. Uh, other times it feels like it goes by so slow. And if you're in the weight loss phase, you may have felt that before, that that it feels like it's going by so slow, it's taking forever. And I remember feeling that way for sure. But now looking back on that year that it took for me to lose 125 pounds and get to my goal, looking back on that year, it seems like it went by in the blink of an eye. It seems like it went by so fast. Time is so interesting like that. It's kind of like having kids. Uh, when you're in the midst of the diapers and the sleepless nights, it just feels like it will never end, right? But looking back, holy cow, they grow up so fast, and you just can't believe where the time went. So the trick is to live in the moment. And if we do that, it seems to go by just right. Now, time doesn't ever stop. You can't go backward. You can't jump ahead. It just keeps going, and you can't stop it. So, what are you doing with your time? My challenge for you today is to consider ways that you can improve your time. So, I think one of the worst things that we can do is to waste time. So, the average person only gets 78 years in this life. That is not a lot of years. So if you're 40, 50, 60 years old, we don't have a lot of years left, and we need to live each day without regret, because tomorrow isn't promised to anyone. In my career as a registered nurse, this has been um, really, it's been, um, it has been very eye-opening for me. As a young nurse in my 20s, when I was in my 20s, and working in the hospital, I would I worked on the trauma floor, and I would see patients who left for work that day and they didn't, just like it was another day, and because of a terrible accident, they had their leg amputated, or they never even made it back home. And being a nurse on the trauma floor back when I worked there, it was so eye-opening to me, because just made, we think that we think that time, that we think we have an abundance of time. But the truth is that it is very limited. Our time is limited. And it being a nurse for the past 16 years, 15 years, has taught me that life is beautiful, life is fragile, and life is so, so short. So we have to live without regret. Um, Living without regret is one of my favorite mantras. And it's so meaningful to me because of my experience with working with people who have had their lives change or end so quickly. You know, the time that we have in this life is going to pass no matter what. So let me ask you a question. Where do you want to be in a year? Who do you want to be in 10 years? Don't waste your time. If you're making a lot of exceptions with your plan, you're wasting your time. Okay? We don't want to prolong the weight loss phase. The weight loss phase, we don't want to spend any more of our precious time on this earth worried about our weight or thinking about weight loss. We don't want to do that. We have purpose in this life and we have things that we need to do. And losing weight is not the purpose of our life. So, but to live a full and healthy life, we need to follow our plan, you know? So where do you want to be in a year? Who do you want to be? Um, so the way I like to think of it is that we need vision. We need vision to look ahead into the future to see that compelling future that we want for ourselves. We need to look ahead at who we want to become. You know, this life is about progress and becoming our best selves, becoming the best versions of ourselves. So who do we want to become? What do we want to do with our time? And so the way I like to do that is to have that big vision of what I want my life to be. What are my dreams? What are my goals? You know, and then reverse engineering it. So you take that really big goal, like losing all of your excess weight, and being able to hike and ski and run with your kids and grandkids and get on the floor and play with the baby and, you know, all of the whatever your dreams and goals are for your life. You know, you think of those big end goals, but then we got to reverse engineer it and into small actionable steps. So what do I have to do to achieve that in a year? And how do I do it? So if you break it down, what in order to achieve that big goal, what do I need to do this month? What do I need to do this week? And even breaking it down more, if I'm going to become that person in a year, what do I need to do today to become that person? How can I become that person today? And so a lot of times I've heard people say, you know, I don't have time. I don't have time for meal prepping. I don't have time for meal planning. And I get it. I get it. We have a lot of demands on our time. There are so many different things that are distracting and like down there you hear that noise downstairs. Oh, it's like worst timing. But we have so many different distractions, things that are trying to get our time, right? But what we need to do is just really ask ourselves, what are our priorities? And if self-care isn't on your list, then you need to reprioritize your life, okay? Because self-care, it should be one of your top priorities. It's like if you are in an airplane and the oxygen masks pop down, they tell you to put your oxygen mask on first so that you can help other people. You need to prioritize your well-being and your self-care so that you can be able to help others and to do all the things that you want to do. You know, we can't do that if we're sick, if we're in the hospital, if we die early, if we have diseases. You know, it makes it harder. So prioritizing your self-care, you don't have time to not meal prep. You don't have time to not to not plan your meals. You don't have time not to write down your food, right? It is so important for us to schedule our priorities. So not only prioritize what is the most important in our life, but we also need to put them on the calendar. So make an appointment with yourself that at 8 o'clock every night, this is when, or after dinner every night, this is when you're writing down your food for the next day. Or every Sunday at 3 o'clock, for 2 hours, I'm going to focus my time there for meal prepping and planning for the week. And so schedule your priorities, put them on the calendar. And it doesn't have to just go along with your weight loss plan. Maybe schedule that time with your family. Put it on your calendar. The days are going to pass away. The time is going to pass no matter what you do, whether you're on your plan, whether you're off your plan. But what we do and think today determine who we become and where we are in a year, in 10 years, and beyond. So schedule your priorities. If you're too busy for self-care, you are too busy. I have a tool in my PDF workbook that I really love, and it's called the time management tool. And so each week in my calls with my clients, we do a weekly focus. And we set an intention for the week of an area of our life that we're wanting to improve, or an area of our program that we're wanting to focus in on and really improve. So I love that. I love the idea of having a focus because we can't do everything. We can't do everything all at once, but we can do one thing at a time. And so having one area that we're focusing on, instead of feeling like we have to be perfect at everything, having one area of focus. So in the time management tool, it has a place for you to write your focus. And you can do this without the time management tool. Just use it in your journal. Journal about it. What is your focus each week? Maybe have some time for self-reflection. What is your focus this week? What can you do this week to get you to closer to where you want to be in a year? And so what we can do with that is then we ask ourselves, okay, well, what are the things that I must do this week? What are the non-negotiables that I have to do this week? And that might be, caring for your family. It might be definitely make sure that self-care is on there. It may be working. You have to work. Whatever your must do, your non-negotiables, the things that have to be done, put those on that list. And then below that, ask yourself, okay, well, what do I want to do this week? So what are the things I desire to do, but are negotiable, right? That might be, going to, I don't know. I'm not good at thinking on my feet, but it might be like going to a movie or going skiing or whatever. What are the things that you want to do that week? And then below that, you write down what are the things not to do this week. So having a not to-do list is just as important as having a to-do list. So what are the things that you should avoid doing at all costs because they are going to impede you from achieving that focus for the week? Maybe not to do would be going off of your plan. Maybe not to do would be staying up late into the night, binge watching a show, so that you're not getting, so then the next day you won't wake up on time. And, what are the things not to do this week? So I love this tool because, it's something I encourage you to do each week, is to have that time for self-reflection. What's your focus? What are the must-dos? What are the want-to-dos? And what's on your not-to-do list? And I think if we approach our lives that way, it's just a way to help us to improve our time, and really just make sure that you're living in the moment. I know that we always wish that we're somewhere else. We wish that we were at our goal, We wish that we were in our goal body. We wish that we had more money. We wish all of these things, but live in today. Just enjoy. Today is such a gift. So, my challenge for you this week is to improve your time. So, please comment below and tell me what is your vision? Where do you want to be in a year? And what are you going to do this week to improve your time? I hope that you have a great week. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll talk to you later.